Hi Reddit, throwaway because some of my family lurks here. I, 26F, just got a job offer that is literally my dream. It's in my field, great pay, great growth, and about 8 hours away from my hometown. I've been working toward this for years, late nights, multiple jobs, saving every penny, grinding through school. This was supposed to be my big break. But the celebration lasted about 24 hours. My mom calls me the next day, and instead of being happy for me, she says, "We need you to stay closer to home. Your brother isn't in a good place, and your dad and I are getting older. You're the responsible one, we might need financial help." For context, my brother, 28M, is still living with my parents. He's always been the golden child, despite, well, not really having his life together. He dropped out of college twice, never holds down a steady job, spends money like it burns a hole in his pocket, and has racked up debt, gambling plus impulsive spending. My parents have bailed him out multiple times, draining savings they can't really afford to lose. And now, I'm apparently supposed to put my entire future on hold because he can't manage his own life. I told my mom flat out, I can't do that. I've worked too hard. I'm not responsible for brother's name's choices. She immediately burst into tears, full on sobbing about how I'm abandoning the family, how she always knew I cared more about money than people, how my dad and she will suffer if I leave. Within 2 days, the guilt train arrived in full force. My aunt called, saying, "Family comes first. You'll regret this." My cousin texted, "Money isn't everything. What will you do when your parents really need you?" Another relative suggested that if I move, I should send money home every month anyway. Meanwhile, my brother? Silent, not a word of apology, not even a congrats on the job. He's just sitting back while mom rallies the family to paint me as the villain. Even my dad, who's usually more reasonable, said, "It would make things easier if you stayed, but I understand if you go." Which felt like code for, "We're disappointed in you, but whatever." And I can't stop thinking, if this opportunity had landed in my brother's lap, they'd have thrown him a party, packed his bags, and bragged to everyone about how proud they were. Nobody would ever ask him to sacrifice like this. I feel sick with guilt but also furious. I don't want to be the family's backup plan. I don't want to throw away everything I've worked for just because my parents refuse to let my brother face reality. But the guilt trips are so intense that I've actually lost sleep. So Reddit, am I selfish if I take the job and put myself first for once? Or am I just finally waking up to the fact that my family has always expected me to be the responsible one, who cleans up everyone else's mess? Update. Hi Reddit, thanks for all the advice on my original post. I didn't respond to every comment, but I read them all. Yes, even the harsh ones. Honestly, the overwhelming support gave me the push I needed. So, here's what happened. After I posted, I sat on the offer for a couple more days, trying to calm down and think clearly. My mom called me every single day during that time, crying, asking if I'd come to my senses. My brother still said nothing. My dad just stayed quiet. Finally, I signed the job contract. I called my parents that night to tell them officially. My mom lost it. She started yelling that I was tearing the family apart, that I'd regret this when she's dead and gone, and that I was choosing strangers over blood. She actually hung up on me mid-call. The next day, my aunt texted me a paragraph basically saying, "Your parents sacrificed so much for you, and this is how you repay them." My cousin even suggested I was running away because I don't want to deal with responsibility. But here's the kicker. About a week later, my brother finally called me. Not to congratulate me, not to apologize. He said, "So, are you sending money home once you start?" Mom and dad are kinda counting on it. I swear, I just sat there in stunned silence. I told him, "No. I'm not your safety net. I'm not mom and dad's retirement plan. You need to grow up." He got defensive and snapped, "Wow, you've really changed." Yeah, I guess I have. My dad eventually called me privately and, in a very quiet voice, almost like he didn't want mom to hear, told me he was proud of me. He said he wished things were different but that he understood. That was the first time I cried about all of this, not because of guilt, but because I finally felt like at least one person in my family saw me. I've since moved to the new city and started the job. It's been stressful and exciting, but honestly, I feel free. The guilt still lingers, but it's fading. Every time my phone buzzes with another passive-aggressive message from mom or my aunt, I remember why I had to leave. I don't know what the future holds for my relationship with my family, but I do know one thing. I'm not giving up my life to fix my brother's mistakes. Thanks, Reddit. You helped me see that choosing myself wasn't selfish, it was necessary. Second update. My mom showed up at my new apartment, with my brother's stuff. Hi Reddit, it's been about 3 months since my last update. The job is going great, I'm slowly making friends here, and for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm actually living my life. But, of course, the drama didn't stay behind. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from my mom saying she missed me and wanted to visit. I was hesitant, but a small part of me hoped maybe she'd calm down, so I said okay. Big mistake. She showed up at my apartment, with my brother and 3 suitcases. I wish I was joking. Apparently, in the months since I left, my brother racked up even more debt, quit his job, and got into a screaming match with my dad. My mom decided he needed a fresh start, and since I have a good job and a spare room, her solution was to drop him off at my place. She literally said, "You two can help each other. He just needs stability, and you can afford it now." I was stunned. I told her absolutely not. My apartment is small, my lease doesn't even allow extra tenants, and more importantly, I am not going to raise my 28-year-old brother. My mom immediately started crying in my doorway, saying I was heartless and turning my back on family when they need me most. My brother didn't even look embarrassed, he just stood there on his phone. When I refused again, my mom actually tried to leave his bags inside my apartment before storming off. I ended up dragging the suitcases back into the hallway and telling my brother he wasn't staying. He muttered something like, "Whatever, you've changed," and followed her out. Later, I got a barrage of texts from my aunt and cousins calling me cruel and soulless. My mom sent me a long message about how I've destroyed the family bond. My brother? Still radio silence. I cried that night, not out of guilt this time, but out of sheer anger. The entitlement is unbelievable. They genuinely thought they could just dump him on me and I'd roll over. Here's the twist though, my dad called me privately again. And this time, he admitted he's done. He told me he's tired of bailing my brother out, tired of watching mom enable him, and tired of the chaos. He said he's considering separating finances from my mom because she keeps draining their savings on my brother. I nearly fell off my chair. I never thought I'd hear that from him. So yeah, my mom tried to move my brother into my apartment without asking. My brother is still a leech, and my dad might finally be waking up. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen next, but one thing is clear. I am not going to be anyone's backup plan ever again.